All right, welcome back to Kendall Combines, where I, Kendall, combine 2 mystery ingredients for you, and you, and you.
I'm the one who gets to taste it. You guys have to watch.
Have to.
You have to watch. You click on the link and now you have to stay here. Please stay here. No, 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 no!
I don't know what these are, but I have a really good idea of what one of them might be because I've been sending Brad reel after reel after reel of this one ingredient. I think it's cottage cheese, and if it's not, maybe it's in there.
So, should we uncloche these
Yeah,
cloches?
I want to do it.
What is that?
My one true love. Oh, I'm so happy. If I could, I would just talk about cottage cheese for 30 minutes straight. I'm used to eating cottage cheese in its purest form. You know, taking a little container, putting it in a bowl, cracking up some salt and vinegar chips, mixing them in, eating it as fast as you can so the chips don't get soggy. That's what I'm used to. I'll make it for you.
The grossest thing I've ever. No, don't bring that within 50
so
feet of me. Restraining order on that dish specifically. It's disgusting. It's awful. You do what you want in the privacy of your home. That's
what if this is salt and vinegar chips?
Then I quit. Then I'm gonna go upstairs and I'm never gonna come back down. It's
okay.
Easy as that.
So hopefully it's not then.
Hopefully not.
Should we find out right now?
Should we keep drawing it out as long as we possibly can?
Oh.
Are you a fan of kimchi?
I actually am a fan of kimchi. I'm lying. I don't normally just eat it, you know, for a snack as I would cottage cheese. I don't immediately see the correlation for me.
I don't see any correlation at all, actually. These are 2 of the most unalike things
Yeah.
that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I don't want to eat this full stop, much less with kimchi.
I'm gonna
Don't want that at all.
I'm gonna go in.
This sucks.
I don't think it's really gonna be that bad. I think it's actually gonna be kind of nice. Cheers.
Cheers. Okay. Flavor-wise, it's actually not bad at all.
Here's what I think happens. They like nullify each other. I don't get very much cottage cheese. I don't get very much kimchi. I would eat that.
I would rather eat kimchi with cottage cheese than just cottage cheese. That's how much I dislike cottage cheese.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, I'm very excited and curious to see what you're going to do with these because the possibilities are half a dozen or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say I'm thinking of 3.
3.
Yeah.
I am going to go now, and you do that.
Yeah.
And then I come back and we eat it.
Yeah. Sounds great.
Yeah.
I'm
All right.
excited about this.
Good stuff.
You're a really good handshaker.
Thank you.
I did a bit of research, I came up with a game plan, and I'm really excited. I wrote this up yesterday with the idea that we're gonna do 3 different variations of kimchi and cottage cheese. So we're gonna go with the pierogi concept. Really easy for me. I'm gonna base it off of the Babish pierogi recipe. The kimchi pancake, I'm gonna kind of mash it up between like the Korean style scallion pancake and kind of like a protein cottage cheese pancake that I make kind of on the regular. We'll see how that one goes. And last but certainly not least, kimchi mac and cheese with a cottage cheese sauce. I'm very excited about that one. We're gonna go ahead and get started with the pierogi. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with the dough. 350 grams of flour, a teaspoon of salt, just whisk to combine. And then I'm gonna add 4 tablespoons of butter and 120 grams of water to a pot to warm to about 100 degrees Fahrenheit. It's too hot. So this is too heated water and butter, and so I'm gonna let it cool off for a little bit because it's about at 180 degrees Fahrenheit and I need it at 100 degrees. I'm gonna go ahead and start the pierogi dough. So we've got flour, salt, the cooled butter water mixture, pour that right in, and the room temperature beaten egg. Then we'll transfer the dough to the work surface directly and knead until it's smooth, about 5 to 8 minutes. So this is all like craggly now and like ripping. I'm just gonna continue kneading it until it's smooth. Hopefully that happens. All right, that feels just about right to me. Here is our finished dough. I'm now going to cover it with plastic wrap or wet towel and let it rest for 30 minutes to relax the gluten that I've just developed. And in the meantime, I'm gonna make the filling for the pierogi, which has to cool down to room temperature before I can fill them. We've got 4 pretty small Yukon Golds, which I'm going to peel and cut into round 1-inch cubes. I'm going to add them to a pot of cold water, then transfer them to the stove, bring it up to a boil, cook for around 10 to 12 minutes or until tender. Then I'll rice the potatoes, add in the kimchi and the cottage cheese, and let the whole thing cool to room temperature. I think it's good. I think I'll add the last of this little bit of cottage cheese, but then I think it'll be good. This is all set. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll out the pierogi dough now. We're gonna divide the dough into 4 equal pieces, working with 1 piece at a time, and roll the dough out to about 1/8 of an inch thickness. And then we'll cut out rounds using a 3-inch pastry cutter, using plenty of bench flour to prevent the dough from sticking to the surface. To fill the pierogi, we're going to add about 1 tablespoon to 1.5 tablespoons of filling to each of the pastry rounds. Then we're going to fold the pastry over the filling to create a half circle and then crimp the edges. And then refrigerate them until they're ready to bake, cook, boil, and fry, okay? Yeah. The pierogies are in the fridge now. You could, boil and fry them up right away, but I want that to be an end of the day thing. So they're in the fridge waiting until I'm ready. In the meantime, I'm gonna make us a little snack, the kimchi cottage cheese pancake. In a medium bowl, we're gonna whisk together 4.5 ounces of all-purpose flour and 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt. In a separate bowl, we're gonna combine 1 egg, 2 ounces of kimchi roughly chopped, 3 ounces of water, and 1.5 ounces of cottage cheese. And then in a larger bowl, we're gonna combine the wet and dry ingredients. In a medium skillet, we'll heat 1 to 2 tablespoons of neutral oil over medium heat. Then we're gonna add 2 to 3 tablespoons of batter to the preheated skillet and cook until golden brown, about 3 to 4 minutes per side. Once the pancakes are cooked, we're gonna put together a dipping sauce. We're gonna combine 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon plus 1 teaspoon of rice vinegar, 1/2 teaspoon of sugar, and about 1 teaspoon of fresh ginger grated, and about 1 tablespoon of chopped scallion greens. We'll whisk that together and set aside until ready to serve.
I'm here trying kimchi pancakes.
Yeah, I'm just ripping them with my things.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I like what's happening here.
The sauce is a bit pungent.
I mean, from now on, when I make scallion pancakes, I'm putting kimchi in them because that's the takeaway I'm taking. I don't detect the cottage cheese obvi.
Yeah.
But the kimchi in the scallion pancake is such a welcome flavor. That's a great sauce too. What do you got all in there? That's soy sauce and
soy sauce,
black vinegar,
rice vinegar, sugar, ginger scallions. Oh, I like that.
That's compelling content, and I'm excited to see what you do next.
Yeah. So we're gonna get started on the kimchi mac and cheese cottage cheese. Kimchi mac and cottage cheese, which sounds gross. We're gonna prepare a square baking dish with butter and set aside. We're also gonna preheat the oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Then we're gonna go ahead and melt 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter in a medium skillet over medium heat. Then add the whites of 2 scallions, finely chopped, and 6 ounces of kimchi to the melted butter and cook for 3 to 4 minutes. Then add 2 minced garlic cloves and cook for an additional 2 to 3 minutes. In the base of a food processor, add 6 ounces of cottage cheese and pulse until completely smooth. All right, it's looking pretty smooth. I'm just gonna, yeah, look at that. I'm gonna scrape down the sides because there are some chunks that I didn't quite catch, but smooth. Add to the smooth cottage cheese 20 ounces of milk, 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard, and 1/4 teaspoon of white pepper, 1/4 teaspoon of ground black pepper, 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt, and gochugaru to taste. Then in a large bowl, combine the kimchi mixture, the cottage cheese sauce, 6 ounces cheddar cheese, 4 ounces Monterey Jack cheese, and 12 ounces of dried pasta. Fold to evenly combine, and then pour the mixture into the prepared baking dish. It's turned the milk a fun color. You know, I am going to add a little bit more cream just because a lot of these shells are not submerged. Yeah. Cover the dish with aluminum foil and bake in the preheated oven for 30 minutes. Yeah. I love it. Okay, so now that the mac and cheese is out of the oven, I'm gonna let it cool for about 10 to 15 minutes, and in the meantime, I'm gonna cook the pierogi, and hopefully they'll be ready to go at exactly the right amount of time. Start a large pot of water and bring it to a boil. Add the pierogi directly to the boiling water and cook for about 60 to 90 seconds. Then we'll transfer the boiled pierogi into a nonstick pan already preheated with oil and cook those for 1 to 2 minutes per side or until golden brown and crusty.
Okay, move it over here.
Yeah, well, I'm just gonna transfer them to this plate over here. The pierogi are done, and now it's time to ask Andrew to come back.
I'm hungry. Let's do this. These look fantastic.
Yeah?
Yeah, no.
Let's do it.
Start, yes. Ooh, nice crunch on
Oh, I think it's
that.
gonna be hot.
Special smell.
Oh, that's right.
It's very hot. That is a series standout, I would say.
Wow.
Of the foods made on Kendall Combines, that is a genuine pleasure to eat.
Thank you. I like that. I like it.
I like it. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I was saying. Yeah, that was the general theme of what I
Yeah.
was trying to say. I like it, yeah.
I give you a bite, Brad.
Please.
They can wait. Let's go to.
Oh, you're right. You know, we gotta do direct comparison. Sorry, guys. Oh, not a great sign.
Oh.
Oh
There's
no.
There's some
What?
water in the. But where'd
Where'd the water come from?
The cottage
The
cheese?
milk or the cottage cheese? It's mostly water. Ew, look at that. Ew, it's crying.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Okay, well, great.
It was a cool move using shells. I really love shells mac and cheese. It's
I'm-
underutilized.
It's so homey. I'm seeing how it's like separating.
Yeah.
Cottage cheese even.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that
You know,
presents
it's
some
not a
issues.
cooked sauce. And that might be the ish.
Maybe. It's still really good. I mean, it broke for sure.
Yeah.
But like, the texture is very nice.
Have you gotten any kimchi yet?
I just caught a hunk. And that was very nice.
I wouldn't do it again, probably.
Yeah, I think the sauce let you down.
Yeah.
More accurately, my arch nemesis, cottage cheese, let you down. I think that's where the moisture's coming from, and it also has given it a rather lumpy texture.
Yeah.
But
But if you pretend it's ricotta,
so you were given two very odd ingredients, but you've turned them into some really delicious stuff. Like this is like a true triumph. Like this really works. Cottage cheese in pierogies is right at home, and the kimchi brings that little bit of heat and some texture just the way you'd want. You know, just normal cabbage.
even though this is not perfect, I still liked eating this. This was great. I would actually make those again. The pancakes, I would also make again.
I think you should feel absolutely great about what you made today. I'm glad that you had fun doing it because it's ended up our fantastic dinner tonight. Brad, are you ready to come eat some?
Yeah, come eat,
stuff?
Brad. Nico, come eat.
Now this is compelling content.